Also, most people think of social media as a marketing tool, as an opportunity to get your message out and connect with people. If we look at marketing in general, it's made up of the 4 Ps. You've got product, price, place, and promotion. A combination of these 4 factors will enable you to get your product out there and hopefully sell it to lots of people. You need to get these factors working right against each other. For example, if your product is petrol, you need to make sure that it's priced appropriately. There's no point selling it £5 more than all the other garages in the area. You won't get anywhere. Place. You need to make sure that the garage is placed, or the forecourt is in an appropriate place. No point putting a petrol station in the middle of a field. Nobody will be able to get to it. Promotion, you need to tell people about where the petrol station is. Social media has introduced the 5th P into this marketing mix, and that P is participation. Participation is made up of the 5 Cs. You've got community, conversations, commenting, collaboration, and contribution. If you think about 4N, 4N is a physical community, but it has a lot of it's very similar to an online community, I suppose. You have to come in, you have to turn up, you have to be here, you have to communicate with people, you have to have conversations with people, you have to tell people about your products and service, you have to get people talking about your own products and services, so they're commenting on what you do. You're looking to find advocates within that community. Collaboration. That's the process by which you're looking to find advocates. If we go back to my example of Horizon, I use social media to collaborate with local providers to punch way above my weight. People within 4N are doing that. They're looking for opportunities to work as a group with other providers. Contribution. You have to contribute to the community to be taken seriously for people to contribute back to you. There's no use, taking on a role within 4 Networking is a great way to contribute to the community. These are sort of very real-world examples, I suppose, that you can relate to the social world. Where does social media fit into business? Well, I think it's important to think, whilst just discussed marketing there, really, if you use it correctly, it impacts across the whole business. So it can impact on customer support, human resources, public relations, customer loyalty, and all of these elements provide business intelligence about how your business is doing and performing. Ultimately, it can also drive sales as well. We're going to come to a little case study in a minute. It's going to examine all of these elements so that you can see how it would work, I suppose, in the real world, using social media to develop this level of business intelligence to a given business. All of these elements, you really need to think of them as being cyclical. You can't take one out of the mix without it impacting on all the others. So if you're providing customer support with social media, it can give you an indication of your human resources. It can improve those contact points, the opportunities for people to get to know, like and trust you a little bit more online. You're much more likely to do business with somebody that you know a little bit about, that you have some sort of a relationship. Social media provides a platform in which these relationships can take place over great distances. Human resources, if you've got issues that are constantly being brought to your attention because of the customer support that you're providing through social media, that can highlight problems within the business. For example, you might not have enough resources, enough people on the ground to deal with that particular situation. So it's providing you with a constant process of feedback, really, about what your marketplace thinks about you, your products and services. A great way to use it to provide you with business intelligence as well is, if it can provide all this sort of information about your own business, why not follow your competitors? Why not see what they're up to, see how they're functioning, see what people are saying about their products and services. It will give you a good indication of how well they're performing and where there might be gaps within their marketplace that you can take advantage of. So now look at a case study. Let's have a look at BT. Is anybody aware of what BT are doing on the internet at the moment with regards to their Twitter account? No, definitely silence.
I haven't come across BT.
BT, we've got a whole department of people that are actively listening to the internet. They're listening to Twitter. They're listening for comments made about their products or their services. I think there's a great clue in the name, BT Care. What they're doing is they're listening to problems and they're actually reaching out to their clients and letting them know that their clients care. They're doing it in a very public way. They're doing it on Twitter. They've got 7,500 people that are following them at the moment. So every time they reach out to one of their clients, 7,500 people instantly get to know about it. The very fact that I'm here talking to you about it this morning means that many more people are getting to know about it as well. So it kind of gives you a little bit of an indication about how it can feed into public relations as well. So this guy had a bit of an issue. He sent out a tweet to BT Care, and he said, "I'll be moving out of my flat at the end of the month. Could you tell me how to close my account, please? That's a fairly simple problem." He could have picked up the phone and called them, but what tends to happen when you pick up the phone and speak to a big company like that is it can take you a long time to get through to the right department. You might not actually end up speaking to the right person.
Listen to some great music.
Sorry, Phil?
Listen to some great music while you're waiting on hold.
It can be a big time waster. This guy, it probably took him 15 seconds to send this message out. So BT, as I say, they're listening to the internet. They want to find out what their clients, their customers are saying about them, what their experiences are, to provide them with business intelligence. They very quickly got back to him and said, "I can help. If you'd like to stop the line, simply email your account info and Twitter ID to btcare.com when you're moving." So they reached out to him and said, we've heard you, you've got a problem, we can help you out. What can we do to sort this out? So they've given him an opportunity to come back to it. As I mentioned, 7,500 people have now seen this message. They're all going to hear about this because of what they're doing on the internet. His response, BT Care, done. That was a lot less painful than I was expecting. This whole transaction, this whole process, probably used a lot less resources than putting somebody on the phone, having to deal with going through the admin at the other end. But it also became a public relations exercise in itself. I'm here talking about it this morning. They did it on the internet. It's all there for people to see. 7,500 people received that message instantly. Any one of those people that was receiving that message thought, "Oh, this is quite interesting, I'll send it on to my followers." They have another 1,000 followers. That's 8,500 people that received that message. And so on and so on. They're drip feeding information that's going to be out there permanently about how much they care about their customers and what they're trying to do to provide a good service. It impacts across the whole of the business. It's not just about chatting, it's not just about trying to get your sales message out there. This in itself, I think, is a very powerful sales message. It's showing that BT are a company that are proactive and they're trying to make sure that their customers are okay. So, business intelligence. It's important to think about Facebook and all of the social media tools really as being very powerful tools for business. If you use them correctly, it can really help and inform your business on what it's doing right, and more importantly, what it's doing wrong, and how you can change things around, and get very quick feedback from your client base about what you're up to. So, any questions?